Good work. Don't leave anything behind. I heard something. I don't think we're alone. Developing this level of technology is a lost art that the Brotherhood's hoping to revive.
Got it.
We may have a problem.
Getting past me.
Out there somewhere!
We've got company.
Cover! Play tricks on me again!
That's it. Yes.
Negative visual on the target.
Nice.
Powering up. Protectron on duty.
I wonder what's in here.
Please
Don't get
remain
excited.
calm if you are injured. Please remain calm if you are injured. Protect and serve.
I hear something! Over there. What? I hear something.
Sweet.
You humans made us! Now suffer for your arrogance! Just stand still!
Sweet.
Only one of us survives this! And it won't be you! Suffer!
Nice.
We are the future! No, you wank! It got me mad! You humans! So stupid! So weak! You die now, human!
Neutralized.
You're exceeding the maximum recommended payload for a ground unit.
Sweet. Excellent. Do you need any help with the signal interceptor? Not sure how we're gonna build this relay dish. Try and locate old radar installations or radio transmitters. If you're lucky, a few of them might still have their dishes intact.
I can't talk right now. I have a lot on my mind.
Elder Maxon?
I'll send for you if I need you.
Jackson's waiting to talk to you, and I'm not throwing the switch until he gives us the go-ahead.
Remarkable work, Knight. The signal interceptor appears to be complete. Are you ready to put it to the test?
You sure Ingram knows what she's doing?
Proctor Ingram's managed to keep a 40,000-ton airship aloft for the past 5 years. I'd say that earns her the benefit of the doubt. That being said, this is the first time we've attempted to directly adapt Institute technology. When we throw that switch, we don't know exactly what's gonna happen. God willing, you'll end up inside the Institute, and the mission can continue.
What are the details of my mission?
I'm glad you asked. Now, I want you to listen very carefully. Once you've entered the Institute, we expect to lose contact, so it's imperative you remember everything I'm about to tell you. About 10 years ago, the Brotherhood began recruiting civilian scientists from the capital wasteland to assist with various projects. During this process, we were able to obtain the services of Dr. Madison Lee, a noted mind in the field of nuclear engineering.
By recruiting, you mean they forced her to join?
Being at war leaves little room for compassion. That said, Dr. Lee's contributions to our cause were instrumental in maintaining order in the capital wasteland. After some time, she developed differences with the Brotherhood and exiled herself to the Commonwealth. We're fairly certain that her intent was to make contact with the Institute.
Is there a point to all this?
Just giving you the proper background, soldier. Your mission is simple. Once you're inside the Institute, we want you to track down Dr. Lee's whereabouts. If you find out that she's still alive, make contact with her and convince her to return to the Brotherhood of Steel. There's a special project we're working on, and it needs her attention.
What's this project that needs her attention?
Dr. Lee previously worked on a potent weapon for the Brotherhood of Steel. We'd like her to continue where she left off. That's all I can tell you. Listen to me, Knight. I'm well aware that you're risking your life going into the Institute blind. Just keep your mind on the mission, and don't let anything they say sway you from your duty. Good luck.
I've checked and rechecked everything. I think the signal interceptor's ready to go. Are you?
I have some things to do first.
Yeah. I wouldn't be eager to jump onto this contraption either.
Brooks?
You know, when I'm feeling down, a little commerce always cheers me up.
Let's barter.
Here's what I got.
Hey, Alan.
Trying to kill us all.
I got the guns if you
Drive
got
us
the
into
cap.
ocean.
Show me what you got.
You got it.
Hey,
Got anything interesting for me today?
I've checked and rechecked everything. I think the signal interceptor's ready to go. Are you?
shouldn't we test it first?
Not with a single frequency code. The second you arrive and the Institute figures out which signal we hijacked, they'll change the code, and we're locked out. This is a one-shot deal. So what do you say? You ready to give it a try?
Let's do this.
All right. Head up onto the platform and we'll see if I can find a signal to lock onto. You wanted to get into the Institute, right? Well, what are you waiting for?
Excuse me, Elder Maxon.
Refrain from opening fire inside the Institute. It could jeopardize our entire mission.
The device doesn't work from over there. You have to be on the platform. Let's see. Relays dialed in. Beam emitters warmed up. Everything looks green. Let me start scanning for the signal. Cross your fingers. I'm inputting the code
Move
now.
out.
Wow, there's a heck of a lot of interference and ghosting. It's gonna take a minute or two to lock in. By the way, this little trip you're taking is a heck of an opportunity to find out as much as we can about the Institute and what they're up to. I put a clever little program on this holotape that'll scan their network and download anything it finds. If you place it in any
Dr.
terminal
Lee is a
down
valuable
there,
asset.
it'll do the rest.
If any harm
Bring
comes
it back to me and I'll see if I can make
holding you
sense of
personally
whatever it found. Well, well, looks like we have a winner. RF wave capture complete. Ramping the emitter. 60%, 80%. Emitter's spiking but steady. All that's left is to throw the
Refrain from
transmit
opening fire
switch.
inside the
Transmitting in 3,
It could jeopardize
2,
our entire mission.
1. Stay safe, soldier.
I wondered if you might make it here. You're quite resourceful. I am known as Father. The Institute is under my guidance.
Hey,
Go ahead.
Paladin.
Is something amiss?
Your thoughts?
I'm proud to be fighting.
How do you feel about our relationship?
I'd trust you with my life. And I assure you, that trust doesn't come easy.
I think it's time we split the team.
Affirmative. I'll see what I can do to make myself useful while you're gone. Ad Victoriam.
If we're going to be dealing more with each other, I need to make sure that we're on the same page. You know what a synth is, right?
Yeah. I know all about them.
Good. The Institute treats synths as property, as tools.
Aren't synths just machines? And machines are tools.
They started that way. But if it's impossible to tell a single difference between a synth and a human, they must be treated the same. So we seek to free the synths from their bondage. Give them a chance at a real life. I have a question. The only question that matters. Would you risk your life for your fellow man? Even if that man is a synth?
I risk my life for people every day. Makes no difference to me if it's a human or a synth.
Well said. Someone with your skills, your beliefs, normally we'd try and recruit you. But right now, we don't have the time to train up a new agent. There are, however, other valuable ways you can contribute. And in turn, we can help you. See Deacon for details. You're free to go.
Hope you didn't mind the reception. When you tango with the Institute, you gotta be careful when someone new gets on the dance floor.
If you greet all newcomers like that, no one's ever gonna help you.
Don't be too hard on the old girl. She's just looking after her wayward children. But it's all good now. I vouched for you. Nobody got shot. Still, I would consider it a close personal favor if you didn't sell us out to the Institute. Thanks.
So tell me, why did you vouch for me?
In our little outfit, it's my job to know things. And with everything you've done, it's clear you're capable. A dangerous enemy. And I'm betting a valuable ally.
But why the trust? You can't be taking it all on faith.
I don't know if we can trust you, but I hope we can. We just survived a hell of a crisis, so we may just be a teeny-weeny bit desperate for new members. If everything was sunshine and bottle caps, we'd probably play a longer getting-to-know-you game, but we don't have that luxury.
Really? Is that all?
You just don't give up. All right, I have a short list of people I think would be a good fit for our family. You piqued my interest, so maybe I asked around. Did my homework. If you hadn't found us, there's a chance I would have found you instead. Thanks for saving me the trip. So Dez wants me to make you a tourist. That's what we call someone who helps out with the odd job here and there. What a waste. I'm just gonna come out and say this. The railroad needs you.
You sure you need me? Desdemona didn't seem to care.
She's just thinking of the time and manpower it would take to train you. And if you were some hick from the burbs that didn't know your ass from a rocket launcher, she'd be right. But I'm betting someone like you just needs a few pointers. And a target.
I'm not sure.
I'll tell you the game plan, then you decide. I got a job. Too big for me, just perfect. Then, if you get into a bind and need...
Right. What's the job?
So, up front, the only thing I'll say is that it's gonna be a wild and dangerous ride, but probably nothing new for someone like you.
Sign me up, then.
Perfecto. Let's meet up at the old freeway outside of Lexington. I'll fill you in once you get there.
We'll file out separately after you leave. Best not to attract attention here.
Desdemona.
We'll file out separately after you leave. Best not to attract attention here.
Hey.
Listen, G519 went through a lot, but she was good. Solid. I don't know if I did right by G5. This whole thing feels shitty. Curie better be worth it.
With Curie's scientific skills, there's a real chance she'll help a lot of people down the line.
Yeah. Here's hoping.
Hey, can't wait to get out of this place. Gives me the creeps.
Hey.
You didn't see anything suspicious coming in, right?
Come here again if you need to meet us. We'll know you're coming.
Everyone's all, you've been hitting the chems way too hard. But I got my eyes open. I see. There's more going on than you know. Trust me. You gotta be careful, man. The Institute.
Anything to say to you.
I'm feeling well. Look at the two of us here in Sanctuary. Prepared for the...
Proctor Ingram?
I've checked and rechecked everything. I think the signal interceptor's ready to go. Are you?
Let's do this.
All right. Head up onto the platform and we'll see if I can find a signal to lock onto.
Refrain from opening fire inside.
You in or are you out? Make up your mind.
Jeopardize our entire mission.
Let's see. Relays dialed in. Beam emitters warmed up. Everything looks green. Let me start scanning for the signal. Cross your fingers. I'm inputting the code now. Wow, there's a heck of a lot of interference and ghosting. It's gonna take a minute or two to lock in. By the way, this little trip you're taking is a heck of an opportunity to find out as much as we can about the Institute and what they're up to. I put a clever little program on this holotape that'll scan their network and download anything it finds. If you place it in any terminal down there, it'll do the rest. Bring it back to me and I'll see if I can make sense of whatever it found. Well, well, looks like we have a winner. RF wave capture complete. Ramping the emitter. 60%, 80%. Emitter spiking but steady. All that's left is to throw the transmit switch. Transmitting in 3, 2, 1. Stay safe, soldier.
I wondered if you might make it here. You're quite resourceful. I'm known as Father. The Institute is under my guidance. I know why you're here. I'd like to discuss things with you face to face. Please, step into the elevator.
It's stuck.
I can only imagine what you've heard, what you think of us. I'd like to show you that you may have the wrong impression. Welcome to the Institute. This is the reality of the Institute. This place, these people, the work we do. For over 100 years, we've dedicated ourselves to humanity's survival. Decades of research, countless experiments and trials, a shared vision of how science can help shape the future. It has never been easy, and our actions are often misinterpreted by those above ground. Someday, perhaps, we can show them what we've accomplished. But for now, we must remain underground. There's too much at stake here to risk it all. As you've seen, things above are unstable. I'd like to talk to you about what we can do for everyone. But that can wait. You are here for a specific, very personal reason. You are here for your son.
Sean?
Huh? Yes, I'm Sean.
God damn them. So many years stolen.
Who are you?
Come on, Sean. We need to go.
Father, what's going on? What's happening?
Those bastards. They killed your father.
What's going on? Father? Father!
I'll kill them for this. All of them.
I don't know you. Go away. Father! Father, help me! There's someone here. Help me!
Damn it.
Father? Father, help
Sean,
me!
open the door.
Take me. Father? Father, help me!
Sean. S923, recall code Cirrus. Fascinating, but disappointing. The child's responses were not at all what I anticipated. He's a prototype, you understand. We're only just now beginning to explore the effects of extreme emotional stimuli. Please try and keep an open mind. I recognize that you are emotional, and that your journey here has been fraught with challenges. Let's start anew. I am Father. Welcome to the Institute.
I could kill you. Right here. Right now.
Yes. Yes, you could. And I would be powerless to stop you.
God. All we're missing are the teacups and the white rabbit.
Ah, levity. Excellent. A sure sign that you adapt quickly to stressful environments. But I need you to realize that this situation is far more complicated than you could have imagined. You have traveled very far, and suffered a great deal to find your son. Well, your tenacity and dedication have been rewarded. It's good to finally meet you. After all this time, it's me. I am Sean. I am your son.
Bullshit!
Is it? After all the things you've seen and experienced in the Commonwealth? Think about it. In the vault, you had no concept of the passage of time. You were released from your pod and went searching for the son you'd lost. But then you learned that your son was no longer an infant, but a 10-year-old boy. You believed that 10 years had passed. Is it really so hard to accept that it was not 10, but 60 years? That is the reality, and here I am. Raised by the Institute, and now its leader.
They stole you. Kidnapped you. It wasn't right.
Right, wrong, irrelevant. It was necessary. The Institute believed humanity's future depended on it. At that time, the year 2227, the Institute had made great strides in synth production. But it was never enough. Scientific curiosity and the goal of perfection drove them ever onward. What they wanted was the perfect machine. So they followed the best example thus far. The human being. Walking, talking, fully articulate, capable of anything.
Human synths? Really?
Human-like synths. A great distinction. The Institute endeavored to create synthetic organics. The most logical starting point, of course, was human DNA. Plenty of that was available, of course. But it had all become corrupted. In this wasteland, radiation affected everyone. Even in their attempts to shield themselves from the world above, members of the Institute had been exposed. Another source was necessary. But then the Institute found me, after discovering records from Vault 111. An infant, frozen in time, protected from the radiation-induced mutations that had crept into every other human cell in the Commonwealth. I was exactly what they needed. And so it was my DNA that became the basis of the synthetic organics used to create every human-like synth you see today. I am their father. Through science, we are family. The synths, me, and you.
I don't believe you. There's no way any of this is true.
I wish there was something to say. I know this isn't what you wanted, but it's the only truth I can offer you.
You're my son? Then prove it. Now.
I've already told you how I came to be here. I don't know what further proof I can offer that would convince you. I've shown you my trust. Your weapons haven't been confiscated, and I stand unarmed before you. Please, let's just talk.
If this is true, where do we start?
I know you must have questions. Please, anything I can do to help you understand.
Your father. He never got to see you grow up.
Yes. What happened to him was... I've gone over the records of the incident, of course. It seems what happened to him was an unfortunate bit of collateral damage. For many years, I never questioned who my parents were. I accepted my situation, and that was that. With old age comes regret. And asking what if more often. But what matters now is that you and I have a chance to begin again. What else can I say to ease your mind?
Kellogg. He worked for you?
Kellogg. He was an Institute asset long before I arrived here. It wasn't until I became director that I learned of all the things he'd done. What kind of man he was.
You knew the man was a psychopath, but you used him anyway?
Would you have preferred that I turned him loose on the Commonwealth? At least keeping him on a short leash kept the collateral damage to a minimum. The Institute took advantage of Kellogg's vicious nature. I will freely admit that. Institute technology prolonged his life, and his usefulness far beyond any normal human lifespan. He never failed the Institute, but his cruelty became more apparent with every completed objective. I won't lie. It's no coincidence your path crossed his. It seemed a fitting way to allow you, us, to have some amount of revenge. What else can I say to ease your mind?
So, you're in charge of the Institute?
I am the acting director, yes. I spent decades working to reach this point. It's a responsibility I take very seriously. The Institute. It's important. It really is humanity's best hope for the future, no matter what those above ground might think of us.
But, Director? Why you?
I was the most qualified for the position, obviously. I've lived my life within these walls, dedicated to science like every other member of the Institute. My hard work has paid off. Ultimately, the Commonwealth has nothing to fear from us. Whatever you've seen or heard, I know I can convince you of that. Just give me time. I know there's more for us to discuss. But the Institute is on the verge of some important breakthroughs. Your presence would be appreciated as we approach them. I've been a part of something amazing here. I've helped to build a life for myself and the people of the Institute. And now, after all these years, you have an opportunity to help with that. Doesn't that intrigue you? Isn't that what you want?
You want me to stay here, in the Institute?
Yes, that is what I propose. Is it so hard to imagine? The Institute can provide a better life than anything above ground. You've been in the Commonwealth. You've seen what it's like. I assure you that you are better off with us.
How can you say that? How can you be so dismissive of all those people? Everything they've done?
Because it is the simple truth. And I believe you know it too. I simply ask that you give the Institute, me, a chance. A chance to show you what I've been telling you. We really do have humanity's best interest at heart. Will you take that chance?
I'm sorry. I can't do that.
I'm sorry to hear that. I had certainly hoped we could work together. But every man must make his own decisions. If you choose to leave, I cannot force you to stay. Understand, though, that I cannot allow you to remain within the Institute. You may have safe passage back to the relay, where you will be sent back to the surface. But from that point, you must be considered hostile. I am sorry. I must think first of the safety of the Institute. And in the cruel world that has developed, those who are not with us are against us. The elevator will return you to the relay.
Sean, can we talk about this?
Have you reconsidered your decision?
Sean, isn't there some other option? Some other way we could work things out?
You've seen the Commonwealth. You must have some idea of how this world works. You're either with us or you're not. I'm afraid it's that simple.
I've changed my mind. I'll work with you.
Well, that's good to hear. All right, then. The Institute is now your home, as much as it is mine. Please take some time, get to know it. Meet the people you'll be working with. You'll want to introduce yourself to the division heads. Dr. Fillmore in Facilities, Dr. Ao in SRB, Dr. Holdren in Bioscience, and finally Dr. Lee in Advanced Systems. They've all been notified of your arrival, of course. Meet them, and then we'll discuss what comes next.
Almost done. Just need to tighten up this primary drive servo.
That's the third primary drive breakdown this month. As far as I'm concerned, the phase-out on these older models can't come soon enough.
Oh, I don't know. Most of them have lasted long past their projected lifespans. If you ask me, they were built pretty well.
I can't argue with that. Even so, I'm ready to see the full Gen 3 roll out.
There we go. All set. Unit, you can return to duty.
Thanks again.
Of course.
It's my responsibility to make sure this place runs smoothly.
Excuse me, Doctor?
They weren't kidding. You really are here. Well, all right. I'm Allie Fillmore. You can think of me as the Institute's chief engineer. When Father told us about you, I could hardly believe it. You've been through so much, I think most people would have just given up. If you don't mind my asking, what was it that kept you going all that time?
What makes you ask? I'm a complete stranger to you.
I suppose when I heard your story, I felt sorry for you. You've suffered more tragedy than any one person deserves. Your whole world is gone. I'm sorry. I know that was a very personal question. Now, I'll give you a quick rundown of the Facilities Division, and then I'll answer any questions you might have afterward. As you might guess, we keep the Institute's mechanical and electrical systems running smoothly. We maintain and upgrade all of the systems that make it possible to live and work in a place like this. There's a lot of machinery behind these walls that recycles the air and water and provides power to the laboratories and quarters. The work we do might not be as exciting as some of the other departments, but it's at least as important. So, now that you're here and you've spoken to Father, does that mean you're on board?
I'm not on board with anything.
No? And yet here you are, poking around. One might find that suspicious. If you're not planning on staying, I'd recommend keeping your hands to yourself. Wouldn't want to give the impression you're up to something. And consider having another talk with Sean. He really is anxious to have you with us. If there's anything else you'd like to know about the Facilities Division, I'm happy to discuss it.
It must be a challenge to meet the power demands of a place like this.
Absolutely. We scratch and scrape for every precious ounce of voltage that we can. Over the years, we've learned a few tricks that help supplement our power budget. When necessary, we can tap into select sources on the surface. We take only what we need, of course. Fortunately, Advanced Systems is always working on new solutions to generate more energy. It's a good thing, too, because the demand is always increasing. You don't even want to know what a single use of the molecular dematerializer consumes.
Allie.
Hi there. Something I can help you with?
I'd like to know about the people in your division.
Of course. Dr. Lawrence Higgs is our mechanical engineer. He oversees the major life support and security systems. Power distribution is Dr. Evan Watson's area of expertise, and Dr. Newton Oberly is in charge of food and housing. He coordinates with bioscience to ensure that our meals are balanced for optimal nutrition. We also make use of a number of synth units for low-priority maintenance and labor.
Greetings. As the Institute's requisition vendor, I can provide supplies for your missions on the surface. How may I assist you today?
What can I requisition?
I have access to a modest selection of arms, armor, and other items approved for use in field missions.
Let's see what you have.
navigation software.
I have a variety of items that should prove useful in your surface missions.
That's it.
A clean and healthy work environment is essential to maximum productivity.
We're all looking forward to working with you.
You know the protocol, sir. Authorized personnel only.
So Dr. Ayo thinks he can hide in his office, does he? Well, you can tell him that I intend to speak to Father about these unannounced security sweeps of yours. Ransacking my quarters in the middle of the night is totally unacceptable.
I'll pass along your message, Doctor.
See that you do. Our new synths are so lifelike, I keep mistaking them for real people.
Hey, Doc.
Welcome. Welcome. It is so good to meet you. I truly hope you'll come to think of the Institute as your home.
The only place I want to call home was destroyed a long time ago.
I'm truly sorry. This must all be terribly difficult for you. You should know that many of us consider it a great honor to have you here.
Scanning. Subject identified. Scanning unknown identity. Clearance.
smell like you've been above ground.
I'm seriously thinking of heading to robotics to knock some heads together.
What now?
They're dragging their feet on the targeting package upgrades I asked for. Maybe I should take some courses with me. Send a message.
Please don't.
You're here. Glad you made it.
Friction as it is between us.
Always be vigilant. We have many enemies.
Excuse me.
Carry on, ma'am.
This time as well.
Father's work has been a real inspiration for me.
Hi.
You wouldn't happen to have a spare polarizer on you, would you? 3 levels of approval. Do you believe that? 3!
I hear we're about to get a new food supplement.
The Directorate should take the synth escapes more seriously. I swear I spend half my time smoothing the feathers that Justin ruffles. We need to be able to collaborate with the other divisions, and that's a lot harder when they're always angry at us.
What's Justin doing that's causing friction?
Oh, he's just pushy and demanding. He thinks his problem should be everyone's biggest concern. I have to admit, though, the other divisions have never taken our needs as seriously as they should. I guess they see us as a necessary evil or something. It's really not fair. Oh, just listen to me. It's the first chance we've had to get acquainted, and all I want to do is complain. In any case, it was good to meet you.
Dr. Secord.
Like any machine, a synth can malfunction. Just wish it didn't happen so often. I know it'll be a difficult adjustment for you, but try to remember that synths aren't people.
Father's a great man. You must be very proud.
Report anything suspicious to the SRB.
Sometimes you have to lean on the other departments a little to get what you need.
Hi, Doc.
So, here you are. Justin Ayo, Acting Director of the Synth Retention Bureau. I'll be upfront with you. We're going to be keeping a close eye on you for the near future. Despite your relation to Father, you're a bit of an unknown quantity. I'm sure you understand. There won't be any issues, will there?
Why? Don't you trust me?
I'll be honest. You're an outsider. The first outsider to be allowed access to the Institute in quite a long time, in fact. There's little precedent for this situation, so it's only natural to take extra precautions, It's nothing personal, I assure you. Now, Father has asked that I provide you with a brief overview of the Synth Retention Bureau. Our primary responsibility is the recovery of escaped synths that are hiding among the human population on the surface.
So basically, you're the secret police.
Secret police? If that's a pre-war reference, then I'm afraid it's lost on me. Our main instrument is the Courser, a third-generation synth assigned to operate on the surface. Coursers hunt down and reclaim synths that have escaped the Institute. They are highly self-sufficient, trained in combat, infiltration, and tracking. In a word, our Coursers are relentless. But I gather you know all this, since you've encountered one already. In fact, I'd very much like to know how you defeated it.
Why does it matter?
If there is some defect in Courser combat programming, then it must be identified and corrected. I suppose I'll have to ask robotics to perform detailed diagnostics on the entire production run. As if we don't have enough problems. Now, unless you need something else, I'll get back to work.
You mentioned that coursers undergo special training. Tell me more about it.
The SRB constantly monitors our Gen 3 synth population, looking for specific traits. Those who show tenacity, fearlessness, and independence undergo a rigorous training regimen. We teach them armed and unarmed combat, investigative techniques, psychology, and mechanical skills. Those who pass a final evaluation become coursers. The rest have their memories wiped and return to their former duties.
It's an honor to meet you, ma'am.
Reporting status. All functions normal.
No visible reaction to the K-14 compound. We'll start the next trial. The dosage will be much larger this time, and the side effects will likely be more pronounced.
Will there be any pain?
I honestly don't know. I suppose it's your job to find out. Now hold still.
Hey there.
It's an honor to have you here, ma'am.
There. All done. You can return to your duties, and remember to record every symptom you experience in detail.
I hope I'll prove a useful test subject for you, Doctor.
Mm-hmm. I have to admit, the third-generation synths are really something.
Good to see you.
Hi.
Once you've settled in, I'll want to do a physical and get a file going on you. No hurry, though.
After what I've been...
I should think so. Who knows what... How about you take some time to get comfortable, learn the lay of the land and such. In the meantime, you come see... We'll do that checkup when you're good and ready. Take care of yourself, so I don't have to.
Terminal's got this locked.
Yes.
Yeah!
She's been at it for over 2 hours. What is she even testing?
Nothing. At this point, she's just doing it for fun.
Hi.
Oh, for goodness sake, I can't find my notes anywhere.
Excuse me.
Yeah?
Rushed work is sloppy at best, and
that was
deadly at
productive.
worst.
Doctor?
Since you're new here, you should take time to learn our safety procedures, and the sooner the better. Rules create order, and order promotes efficiency.
You sound like my 5th grade math teacher. I hated that woman.
I doubt her rules were a matter of life and death. Fail to follow protocols in one of our labs, you could end up with a serious injury. Or worse. I had some handbooks made up, but that was years ago. I'll see about getting one to you.
How big is this handbook?
Just a few thousand pages, but I like to think it's a brisk read. I certainly find it so. Take care, then.
It's really exciting having you here. I can't wait to see what you can do.
Excuse me, Doctor.
Oh, hi there. Sorry if I seem distracted. I memorized 5 sets of designs.
What kinds of blueprints?
Mostly components for a new plasma pistol concept I've been toying with. High-energy weapons are sort of a hobby of mine. Anyway, I'm glad you're here. I just wanted to say how much I admire Father, and that it's an honor to meet you. I really hope you'll stay here with us.
Safety first. Remember that.
This is day 8 of Trial 6. The last week has been very productive but exhausting. I think we'll need a break after this. Benet has done some really marvelous work with the personality mesh. It's almost too good. The responses map almost identically to expectations, some of the most lifelike I've seen. Of course, it's not really Sean. None of his memories are in there. That, even now, would be a step too far. It's starting to have an effect on the team, I think. I know I've been caught up in the moment once or twice. Just a second or two, forgetting that he's not a real boy. Still, I think we'll need to consider restricting him to the lab only for the moment. I'm well aware that others are put off by his presence. If I were slightly more arrogant, I might consider that a sign of success.
Excuse me, Dr. Lee?
Oh, it's you. You're not authorized to be here.
Actually, I was looking for you.
Me? Why?
You're the scientist. Why do you think I'm here?
Well, let's see. A Brotherhood of Steel airship arrives in the Commonwealth. You find a way to intercept our teleport signal, and now you show up at my door. I knew it was just a matter of time before your people would track me down. I've been looking over my shoulder for almost a decade, waiting for them to send someone like you to kill me.
If I wanted to kill you, we wouldn't be talking.
That's a fair point. Since Father trusts you, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. I might not agree with everything he says, but I know he'd never allow harm to come my way. Say what you came here to say, and then leave me alone.
Are you happy here?
You'd think being surrounded by cutting-edge laboratory equipment and some of the greatest minds the world's ever known would be enough. Only problem is the lack of transparency. I don't think we get the full story on everything that occurs down here. What does that have to do with why we're talking?
You should return to the Brotherhood.
Even if I wanted to return to them, why would they want me back?
Did you abandon any projects you wanted to complete?
You should know better than to ask me that. If they didn't tell you what I was working on, they didn't want you to know. I'm certainly not going to put my neck on the line and spread their dirty little secrets. Tell me something. Why would I possibly want to come crawling back to the Brotherhood? What reason would I have to throw away everything I've accomplished here?
The Institute is deceiving you?
So now you're just going to hurl baseless accusations to get what you want? Come on, you can do better than that.
I was just told to get you to come back.
The Brotherhood wants me back, and the best they can do is send a robot that does nothing but follow orders? Sorry, but you're going to have to do a lot better than that.
I give up. What would it take to convince you?
All right, I'll play your game. I had a colleague down here, a Dr. Virgil. Several months ago, there was an accident in his lab, and he was killed. I wanted to help with the investigation, but Father had the laboratory sealed, saying that it was contaminated.
The incident never sat right with me. The more I asked about it, the more I felt like Father was deflecting my questions. If you bring me solid information on what killed him, I'll take it as a favor from the Brotherhood and consider your offer. Do we have a deal?
Are there any other options?
That's my offer. Take it or leave it.
I know this may come as a shock, but Dr. Virgil is still alive. I met him myself.
Oh, please. Do you really think a cheap tactic like that is going to work on someone like me? Stop trying to avoid the legwork by lying. Either you get me the evidence or we have nothing else to talk about. Deal?
Deal.
All right. Dr. Virgil's lab was in the Biosciences Division. I can give you a code that will get you into the section, but the lab itself has been sealed, so you'll have to breach it on your own. I'd tell you to be quiet about it, but your Brotherhood and discretion isn't exactly your strong suit. And finally, if you get caught, we never had this conversation. Now, for the sake of keeping up appearances, let me see that Pip-Boy of yours. I've been told to install a Courser chip in it for you. Father's orders. You're to be given full access, with the ability to relay in and out of the Institute at will.
A Courser chip? What's it do?
The same thing it does for our coursers. Creates a link to the relay that allows them, and now you, to get in and out at will. In case the significance is lost on you, you'll be the only one here with that kind of access. If nothing else, it should demonstrate the amount of trust Father has placed in you. Speaking of, I trust our discussion will remain between the two of us. Now, I need to get back to work, and I'm sure you have other things to do.
Father has accomplished so much. I hope you...
Is it true Food Supplement 77 has been discontinued?
That is correct.
That was my favorite one.
If you encounter a hazardous chemical spill, please alert the Facilities Division immediately. Science Division. In the meantime, please feel free to enjoy one of our other nutritious and flavorful food supplements.
I want Supplement 77.
I am sorry, sir, but that supplement is no longer available.
Useless machine.
Good morning. Would you care for some pre-processed nutritional supplements?
Let's see what you have.
Hello, ma'am. Welcome to the commissary. What can I get for you?
Dr. Watson can be a little obsessive when it comes to rules and policies.
I guess you're from one of the vaults, huh?
Nothing to report, ma'am.
Time to examine my latest reports on batch 274.
Not yet. I've been reviewing Father's plans to expand our operations at Warwick. He's eager to get that going, so I've had to put everything else to one side.
I wonder how the Warwick family is doing. Young Wally must be close to 10 years old by now. It's remarkable that any child can survive for so long up there, don't you think?
I try not to think too much about it. We have more than enough to occupy ourselves here. Those people are the last remnants of a dying past. It's best not to dwell on the subject.
They're still people, and they're suffering. We can at least admit that it's regrettable. After all, how can we hope to redefine mankind if we can't even hold on to our own humanity?
Well, that's a question best left to our colleagues in the robotics division.
Yes, well... I suppose you're right.
It's great to have you here.
Most men lack the patience to observe and document plant growth.
Hey, Doc.
Welcome. So good to have you here. Dr. Clayton Holdren, head of the Bioscience Division. I can't wait for you to see the work we're doing. It's truly amazing.
Like what?
I was just about to explain that. As the name implies, the Bioscience Division specializes in fields of study such as botany, genetics, and medicine. Our most important directive is to ensure the health and well-being of everyone in the Institute. To that end, we cultivate highly specialized breeds of flora for use in food and medicine. We've even started to explore the idea of synthetic animal life. You probably saw the gorillas. They're really just a pet project at this point, but the potential is exciting nonetheless.
The gorillas are synths too?
They are indeed. Judging by your reaction, we've done a good job making them seem lifelike. The initiative is still in its early stages, but the prospects are very exciting. I'm sure I've taken up enough of your time as it is, but I have to ask, have you decided whether you'll join us?
I'm an outsider. Would there even be a place for me here?
Even if science isn't your passion, there are plenty of ways to contribute. Our projects sometimes require an agent who can work on the surface to observe and gather information. From what I've heard, you are both fearless and resourceful. I think you'd be ideal for that kind of role. In any case, I imagine you'll want to continue looking around. Or, if you prefer, I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Tell me more about those synth gorillas.
On the whole, I'd say they were a success. Their behavior does generally match what our historical data says it should be. Unfortunately, we had a few early setbacks. The creatures can become suddenly aggressive, and they're quite strong. They destroyed 2 of their synth handlers. So now we keep them in an isolated habitat where they can be safely observed.
Got it.
Dr. Holdren's synth gorilla project is showing promising results. Good day.
Yes. Sweet.
Scanners detecting sentient life. Alert level elevated. Negative sensor read. Weapons cold.
That's it.
Perimeter movement detected. Possible stealth unit in the AO. Weapons hot.
There we go. Nice. Nice. Got it. Gotta find the terminal. Got it.
Personal record. Dr. Brian Virgil. This will likely be my last recording. My requests to shut down the FEV program have repeatedly been denied. We've learned nothing useful in the last 10 years. Why does Father insist on continuing it? If he won't see reason, then I have to take matters into my own hands. What we're doing, it's not right. It needs to stop. If anyone should find this after I'm gone, know that I never wanted to hurt anyone. Anyone! Do you understand me? I'm gonna make sure the whole program is shut down. If not for good, then at least for years to come. After that, I know what I'm about to do will be seen as a betrayal. Treason, he'll probably call it. So, I'm leaving. I have a plan, and if it works, I'll be somewhere safe. Somewhere not even the coursers can find me. Everything that we've done, the lives we've taken. If there is a God, may he have mercy on us all.
Pardon me.
It's great to have you here.
Please resist any urge you might feel to eat the specimens in the hydroponic garden. Good to see you.
Greetings, ma'am.
Synth unit. You were scheduled for maintenance duty in SRB last night. Anything you'd like to report?
Nothing to report, sir. I carried out my duties, as usual.
Dr. Ao saw you accessing a terminal. You know you are not permitted to access it.
Doctor.
Took you long enough to find that evidence. Let me see what you've got.
How do I know you'll honor our agreement?
I never promised I'd return to the Brotherhood. I said I would consider it. You're just going to have to trust me. If the Brotherhood didn't, they wouldn't have risked sending you to find me in the first place. Now hand it over.
This wasn't easy to find.
Is that supposed to make me feel bad? Just give me what you found.
I'll be somewhere safe. Somewhere not even the coursers can find me.
They lied to me. They lied to me, and I didn't even realize how far it went. All those years of loyalty. For nothing.
Now you know that Father is a liar. He doesn't deserve to have you here.
And I'll never forgive him for it. I came to the Institute to get away from the Brotherhood. From the whole world. I just wanted to do my research in peace. Father took me in and gave me access to cutting-edge technology that I only dreamed existed. I became jaded. I thought that the Institute cared, that they wanted to better mankind. Maybe in their own twisted way they still do. But now I realize if you can't trust the people you're working for, then it's all pointless. If they lied about Dr. Virgil, who knows what else they've been lying about? Or what their plans are for my work. I'll make my way back to the Brotherhood. But I'm going to have to do it on my own. I can't take any chances being seen with you. Tell whoever sent you that they've just regained the services of Dr. Madison Lee.
Hail Knight.
Here's your holotape, Proctor. Hope the data on that thing was worth it.
Thanks. You know, it's good to see you're still in one piece. I wasn't sure what the Interceptor would do to you.
Wait, you didn't expect me to survive the trip?
A device like the Signal Interceptor is way out of my league. I was hoping you'd make it, but I find it tough to have faith in technology I don't understand. Speaking of technology I don't understand, I'll get this holotape to Proctor Quinlan. I'm dying to find out what's on it.
For all we know, that's a recipe for Deathclaw surprise.
Well, it's the best we could do with such short notice. Before we jump to conclusions, let's see what Quinlan's scribes can get off of it. I'm sure the Institute has all of their data heavily encrypted, so it's gonna take some time to crack. After that, we'll have to see what we've got. There's no telling what we might have grabbed off their mainframe. In the meantime, your mission to recruit Dr. Lee still needs to be completed. I believe Elder Maxson gave you all of the details? Good luck, Knight.
Hesitating to pull the trigger on it.
Attention all personnel. Research patrols are a crucial facet of our operation here in the Commonwealth. Any Brotherhood soldiers that have not received a research patrol assignment should speak to Proctor Quinlan immediately.
I received word that Dr. Lee is returning to us. How cooperative do you think she'll be?
I don't think she's going to be very helpful.
Huh. That's a shame. Well, given the proper motivation, I'm certain she can be persuaded to see things our way. As soon as Dr. Lee arrives, we'll interrogate her aboard the Prydwen. She's been under the Institute's influence for the last decade, and we can't afford to take any chances. Now, on to other matters. Thanks to the success of your reconnaissance efforts, it's time to advance our operations to the next phase. I want you to report to Proctor Ingram at the airport. She has a special project that requires your immediate attention. Once again, Knight, you don't fail to impress. Dismissed.
When it comes to keeping the Fridwin running, Dr. England's the best.
Nice work bringing Dr. Lee back into the fold. Now, there's something you need?
I'm looking for some firepower.
Got some choice weapons that just came in.
Proctor.
What can I get for you today?
There's no time to waste when there's work to be done. Dr. Lee.
Have you collected any blood samples, Knight?
Yes. Here you go.
I never thought I'd be so happy to see tiny vials of blood. Thank you. Here's some caps for the trouble. Remember, keep bringing me samples, and I'll keep making you the compound.
Naraya.
Have you collected any blood samples, Knight?
Have you synthesized any more of the X-111 compound?
Not yet. I still need a few more blood samples.
Sure.
Remember, keep bringing me...
Technology's in good hands with the Brotherhood. I know.
That's his self-service, sister. You take what you need.
Never expected Dr. Lee would return to the Brotherhood. But you're not here to discuss history, are you? Are there documents you wanted to turn in? Or were you here to help with a research patrol?
I found some technical
Ah, good. I was beginning to run out of materials to study. Here are the caps that I promised. Remember, the Commonwealth is an almost unlimited source for these technical documents. Check every building you explore during your patrols very carefully, and you might be pleasantly surprised at what you find.
Unless you like getting radiation sickness, I'd stay away.
No way to pick this.
I respect your abilities, Knight. Now, I'd like to put those skills to a different use. Training a Brotherhood Squire. What do you say?
What exactly do I have to do?
You and a Squire will be assigned a location known to be home to mutants, ghouls, or any other unnatural abomination we got these days. You will do the work while the Squire observes. With your skills, it's an easy mission. So, what do you think?
I'm not sure.
Take some time to think it over. Find me on the bridge when you're ready.
shot, never turn your back on a gunner.
Would you like me to go with you? You certainly know your way around the workbench. Self-diagnostic complete. I'm happy to report I won't be falling apart on you anytime soon.
can't wait to get out of this goddamn heat. Glad the sun's coming up soon. I don't like stumbling around in the dark.
I wonder how long my systems will endure.
Don't
these
take
rugged
offense to Marcy.
conditions.
He's working through the... Lost in her own way.
There's so much ground to cover in the Commonwealth. Where should we go next?